a wonderful weekend. Well, let's get it so I can see you. That's giving me all sorts of weird settings. I don't need that. No. Just left. All right. It'll turn up in a second. How is everyone today? So I've got some photos that I really want to scrap, and they're not a really obvious choice for the kit. Because yet again, they involve red. But I'm going to have another try at making the red work. And you'll be so proud of me. Portrait and landscape. But I'm cheating, so you won't be proud of me. And I've made the two landscapes be small. So, I don't know. But I might chop them up, and then it still counts as not being both photos the same direction. All right, is it going to... Yeah, now it's giving me the right things. Yay! Okay. Oh, Debbie's had a week with her 10-year-old grandson going to the museums and everything. Yay! Lovely. Right. Are we all good? I also have very exciting news, and I'm glad that Georgia is here because I've done something. Oh, Stacy says she's not seeing clear, and at this right this second, it's blurry here too. So hold on. Let me try something else. I can take it off the Wi-Fi and put it on the 4G. Sometimes that's better. Sometimes it's not. So let's see. Let's see if it's better. All right. Let's see if that clears it all up. Are we clear now? I think we may be. It may take a second to kind of resolve. Okay, that looks clear on my end, so hopefully that's all it is. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, so red. Oh, but I was starting to tell you. I did something about #organized. So shall I start with that? Okay. So what do you always tell me off for? Always tell me off for not labeling the side of my ink pads. And then when I go through to find a color, I have to do this and find them. And you're not, I don't know. I find that inspiring, but apparently it's not inspiring to watch. And the number of people who've said, you know, they make printable. You can just print it out, cut it out, stick it on the side. Then it would be super easy. And I looked at the printable, and here's the thing. I don't find it inspiring at all. It's just plain old labels in block caps, and it does not speak to me. Okay, but I understood your point. So the question was, how could I find a way to label the sides of my ink pads in a way that would not feel grumpy and creative blocked and all of that to me? I needed them to be shmellified. I needed to imagineer my #organization. So here's what we have. No label makers. I'm not a label maker person. No, can't do it. I can, however, have hidden Mickeys. So it goes all the way inside here. So from the outside, you might not know that they're Mickeys, but I know they're Mickeys, and they make me very, very happy. And I've done them all today. So here's what made me happy about it. One, it's not block capitals in a font of, just a generic font. I wish I wouldn't have said generic, because I know about font design, and making a nice simple font is actually really hard. Okay, so can I backpedal on the word generic? I didn't mean that. But I mean it doesn't have a personal link to me. Okay, thank you. So I needed the labels in my handwriting. That would make me happy. And then what I did was punch with my Mickey punch from some plain old sticker paper. Like this. Got a booper and colored them in. Yeah. I love it when people say you do you, because have I ever done anything else? If there's one thing that I'm confident about in life, it is I will do what I want to do. I'm a stubborn thing. I may be creative, but I'm very stubborn about my creativity. I'm not falling in line. Haven't, won't, no. Okay, so that's what I did. I punched them out. I boopered each one and hand wrote the label on it, and then it just came up with all your frozen messages. Yeah, I think it might be the heat. Ah, England's a funny old place. Okay, right. I better talk faster if it's gonna keep kicking me off. Okay, so yeah, the new color, which is called Prize Ribbon, I believe. It's blue. And hilariously, Tim starts the live by saying, I know what you're thinking. You've got your fists in the air and you're saying, Tim, I don't need another blue. Well, I wish I could show you my stacks of ink, because I haven't put them away yet. I wanted to show you, so I have everything stacked up on the desk, like the whole collection is stacked up right in front of me right now. And so this is yellow, 4. This is green, 4. We're going to have a discussion about coral. This is red, 3. This is orange, 4. This is pink, 4. Purple, 4. Now, I don't have the whole collection. I have about half. Neutrals, 4. 2 browns, a gray, and a black. Coral. And blues. So no, Tim. I didn't need another blue. But here's the funny thing. The color that it's closest to, I also don't have. So, Lindsay, you might want to watch from the beginning. So the labels are not from anywhere. I've made them with some sticker paper, a Mickey punch, the ink, and my handwriting. So yeah, I already have a lot of blue. And the one it's closest to is Blueprint Sketch, which I don't have that one either. So, and I still have more blues than anything else. It is a very beautiful blue. So is Blueprint Sketch. And in watching, I have a feeling that for people who have both of them in person, that it's going to be very similar to my feelings about this combination, Barn Door and Candied Apple, and this combination, Walnut Stain and Ground Espresso. Both of these, when you put them down on the paper, straight from the ink pad, they look very similar, like almost the same. But they oxidize differently. So Walnut Stain and Barn Door oxidize more than Candied Apple and Ground Espresso. And watching the live, I think that Prize Ribbon oxidizes way more than Blueprint Sketch. And that's the difference. But I don't have them. So that's just me watching, and that's my gut instinct. Okay, and then can we discuss, before I put them all away, can we discuss coral? Because I have realized why it must be called abandoned coral. And if this is not the reason why, then I'm a little bit upset, because I feel like I've stumbled onto genius here. So while I was doing all this, I also made a draft organization of my boopers, my booper tops, because the little thing that I made in the desk originally won't work, because now I have too many and they smush together and transfer the ink and it gets really messy. So I do need to do them in an organized way. So this is not the organized way they're going to be. This is just something to hold, because I don't have any Velcro, and I think it's definitely going to need Velcro. Also, before you tell me to put them inside the ink pads, that works for the flat ones. It does not work for the domed. They don't stack. See, it's too big. But I prefer the domed, and I'm not going back now. So I'm going to put them on like a sheet with Velcro bits and then hang it inside the cupboard door. Okay. Now there's a couple I didn't have boopers for, and so when I did the things I still had like a little back catalog of these kind. So that's where my square handle's out, or rectangle. Square. Chamel. That is not a square. That is most definitely a rectangle. I mean, it's a quadrilateral, but it is not a square. Anyway, I used some of those rectangles. And I then realized which ones I need to get domed boopers for, because I'm out of that. Okay, anyway, moving on. So here's the thing about coral. Is it an orange? Is it a red? I don't know. Is it a pink? It's kind of almost pink. It doesn't truly go with any of them. Ergo, it is abandoned. And if that is not why it's called abandoned coral, then I don't know where I stand in the world, because it was like the clouds parted and I had a realization about life and I was okay with it, because abandoned coral. It's just off on its own. It's not orange, it's not pink, it's not red, it's coral. But you know who would be really friendly with coral? Peach. Just saying. Peach. Right. Hi. My name's Shabelle. I teach online scrapbooking classes. I design scrapbooking products, and I help you use them to tell your stories in a creative way. It's not just my hobby, it is my job, and that means anytime you scrapbook on the internet, it's considered advertising. Thank you so much for coming to watch my #advertising. I appreciate you being here, and if you ever have any questions about how any of it works, just ask. If you haven't guessed, I'm quite happy to talk. So there we go. And I love that somebody said they were watching the live when it was actually live, and somebody did ask for Peach in the comments. I love it. I wondered if anybody would. I love it so much. Okay, moving on. So the photos. I've done my speech. We've reacted to ink colors. I don't know which one. So I clearly need to get either, even though my blue is a tower, I clearly need to get either prize ribbon or blueprint sketch. I prefer the less oxidized versions of the two where I have the set. Also, I found it really interesting when I put the labels on that some of them are really difficult to figure out what order they should go in. Because look. This is easy. Lightest to dark. So super easy. Lightest to dark. Love it. What order do those go in? What? You're kidding me. Blue. This is like a blue lilac. This is like a pink purple. This is like a royal purple. This is like a dusty purple. But the royal purple isn't dark, so it doesn't necessarily go at the bottom of the stack. But if I put it like that, I think those two look like they should go in that order. But these two are like completely other colors. Who knows? Right. Oh, Georgia has a quest. Recommend a good all-around orange. So these are the 4 oranges I have. Spice marmalade, carved pumpkin, ripe persimmon, crackling campfire, which is like a true red orange. Like thinking Crayola box, this is red orange. Ripe persimmon is super saturated. I mean, it's the color of the sea monkey tank. By the way, I was worried about the sea monkeys in this heat, but so far they're swimming around and looking okay. I like to think that they're happy if they're swimming around. I don't know. They don't actually like have speech bubbles and tell me how they feel. Just, I'm slighted by that, but whatevs. Carved pumpkin, I would say, is your nice, medium, happy time orange. And then spice marmalade is a little softer. Yeah. But if you were looking for just the middle, I would go carved pumpkin. Persimmon's going to be too bright sometimes. Persimmon, like, these colors make a fire. Yeah, and persimmon is that bit where, like, it starts to go from red to orange. It's bright. Okay. Right, somebody asked, do I only buy the oxides now and not the inks? Yes. I haven't bought a distress ink in almost a year. I have bought plenty of oxides. And the reason why, I find oxides way more versatile because you can stamp and blend and all the other things with them. But also, because a big part of what I do is showing you how stuff works, I favor things that have a really easy learning curve. Oxides are an easier learning curve than inks, than distress inks. That is my absolute opinion. So I don't buy the inks anymore. I have quite a few, but I haven't bought any of the new colors. I think, well, I did buy Crackling Campfire. I had Crackling Campfire in both. And I bought both and then decided, no, I don't need to buy the distress inks anymore. But see, I don't have the sprays, because if I wanted to do a spray, I don't want to do a colored spray very often, but if I did, I would just use the distress oxides and water and a brush to flick it. Connie says, yeah, the inks come in minis, which does give you a little bit of a different option on price point. Oxides don't come in mini because they can't make it work. It has to have the bigger ink pad to do its mixing thing that it needs to do. Apparently it separates if it's in the tiny ink pad. So yeah, I don't have any minis. I think I had one color in a mini from ages ago when I was desperate for an ink, like a hot pink ink or something. So I think I have Seedless Preserves or something, or Picked Raspberry. It must have been Picked Raspberry in a mini somewhere. But that's the only time I've ever bought the minis. I just have the normals. Okay. But yeah, I don't do the whole buy all of the product. I do have a set of distress crayons, which were given to me as a gift, and I don't think I've even learned how to use them yet. I think they're on my, you should learn how to use this. I'm not even sure where I put them now. I thought I knew where they were, but I moved things around the other day. No, they're here. So I have these, which I have not tried. That worked terribly. Rummage in my desk and then I make it so I can't close it. Yeah, so those are still the same color range. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else? Oh, Sarah says, is it picked raspberry? That makes much more sense than pickled raspberry. Yes, it is picked raspberry. And when I wrote all the names out, look, there's one that has a cross out because this one. Because I had written tumbled gloss, and then I wrote broken gloss, and then when I was putting them on, I went, wait a minute. Surely there's not two with gloss in the name, because that's just ridiculous. No, because it's broken china. Yeah. Keisha says she loves Vicky's art crayons. I do have Vicky's art crayons, and they're lovely. Yeah, I haven't used them here because I haven't put them in a kit or anything, but yeah, they are lovely. I should compare the two and figure out what I want to do with them, but yeah, right now they're just sitting in my drawer, making me wonder. Okay, now, what am I going to scrapbook today? So I have photos from yesterday and a story that I really want to tell while it's ridiculously hot weather. So yesterday, WB was supposed to have an end of term show in a theater, like a dance recital, basically. But theaters, with our rules here, which all of us who are here know that some of it is a little bit, doesn't make sense, but whatever. I don't make the rules. Moving on. Yesterday, everything still had to be closed down in limited numbers and everything, and the particular theater they had booked didn't have a way to be COVID compliant with spaces and stuff like that. The lobby is really small. I think that may be part of it. So they couldn't be open yesterday. Now today they could be open to a full house, but yesterday they couldn't be open. So in the end, they decided to do the show on the street. But of course, this was planned before it was 31 degrees. And for Americans who don't speak Celsius, 31 degrees is 90 odd? Hot. Super hot. And keep in mind, if you haven't heard me whine about it before, the UK is not made for heat. We do not have air conditioning hardly anywhere, and our houses are really well insulated to keep us warm during ridiculous winters. Not that our winter is actually that extreme, but it is cold and blustery. And Yeah. And also, you're in the city with all these built up buildings. It feels gross, okay? That's what I'm saying. If you go out on a 30-degree day in London, you will come home and be like, I need a shower because you feel gross. Right. So they did no costumes, just wear your uniform t-shirt, which comes in many colors. But one of the songs they were performing was We're All in This Together, which is from High School Musical. And WB was like, I have a Wildcats East High jacket. I'm going to wear my Wildcats East High jacket. And he was determined. So they got all out into place, and the head of the school was actually so worried that she came over and whispered to him, are you sure you want to wear that? Are you not too hot? And what she then told the audience that he said was, I can't take it off. It would spoil the show. So he did the High School Musical number in the jacket, even though he was melting. And then because there's no like backstage, when he got back off here, like he pulled it off like the fastest change ever, like whoosh, it was gone. So that he was out of the coat, but he was not taking it off on stage. So that clearly needs a scrapbook page, yes? And I just love, so this is a photo of him singing when I zoomed in on him. This is pretty much the whole class. And then I just loved this because this was his group walking in. So they're kind of, they put the kids in different spots of shade so that they could wait for their turn. And there was a little pocket of shade over here behind these adults in the audience. And so they kind of had to wind their way behind there and come in. And by the time they'd done that, they ended up in this little cluster and they just walked in like they were an absolute little wreck. Okay. What a fact. Okay, I've got an ice pack on the phone. Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay? Yeah? Okay. I just had to move the microphone. Is it the 4G? Is it the heat? Is it the combination? I have no idea. But apparently you can hear me and see me. Let's go. Now, this is definitely the latest I've ever gone into a live before I've actually started scrapping. So let's do this. Question. Sticker heavy? And do like really stickery? Have I fogged up the... I'm going to put my thumb on the camera, sorry. Okay, blurry. Yeah, I was checking to see if it was that. Let's see where it's connected. That can't just be here. I don't know. Anyway. Okay. While we were offline there, I was trying to decide if I should put this on a white background or something, but you know that every time I do a white background, I just end up grumpy. So I'm going to go for something just neutral but not plain white. Like, what about like this? And I've got this bit here of color from this kit. I've got this yellow sunshine kind of thing. I think it's going to work. So a black and white stripe, but you could use any sort of neutral for this background if you're just adding it to the kit if you're playing along. All right, because the full pages, I do have 2 full pages left. Well, partially because I cheated this time and I bought 2 of one of the sheets so I could show you both sides. So I still have these 2 remaining, but neither of those is going to work for today. Okay. Just a heads up for anybody that comes in on replay or you're watching without reading the live comments. If you have an interest in crafting with a gel plate, you might want to check out the live comments now because they're discussing Vicky's course with said gel plate. Okay. Now, I know it's not like, there's not a direct link to cola bottles here, but I just kind of think it's cute and it kind of, is it just me or do cola bottles go with the Letterman jacket? I know High School Musical isn't set in the 50s or anything, but it feels very, it feels linked to me. Am I wrong? Right? Okay. Okay. Soda is a teenager thing, and so is the Letterman jacket. And Kirsty says it's Americana. Okay. I'm not out of my tree. Excellent. Let's see what else we can put with this then. So I've got more pink. Oh, and more donuts. I might actually use the donuts again, even though I never expected to use them once. How funny is that? Oh, and I've got black and white die cuts. So, oh, not that I think they're going to work today, though. Okay. What else we got in here? We've got these letters, which probably won't work either. We got a little bit more cola bottle. We've got purple. That's a scrap of yellow that I've used on another page, so it's not from the kit, but I might use it again. That floral. Those are left from cut apart. What does this say? Oh, this one I can use. That one says good days. What's this one say? Fun stuff. Those can all work. Oh, Keisha points out these things are not mutually exclusive. I can be out of my tree and the cola bottles can still work. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Definitely wasn't rain, so I don't need rain clouds or anything like that. Okay. I've got these. And this. Okay. Let's see what we can make happen. Oddly enough, I may end up using more of that floral, this floral. Maybe. And I'm quite tempted to bring this in. Okay. Let's figure it out. So I need gray today for my edges. I just pulled out the turquoise. Here it is. Oh, that's only a tiny bit. And I have a strip of the turquoise left. Oh, it's here. Okay. Because, see, that turquoise is in the cola bottle print. There's method to my madness. Yep, yep. Okay, Chanel scrap before your phone or the internet or YouTube or anything decides you're not allowed to scrapbook on the internet. Amy's got pictures from a visit to the Coca-Cola Museum. And yes, you should totally use them with this kit, with that paper. Why not? Swimming really fast today. They're like dive bombing the bottom of the tank. Going whoosh. Normally they're kind of chill. But you know, it's not chill here today. Maybe that makes a difference. I don't know. Alright. Let's see what we can make happen with these scraps. So here's what I'm thinking. Photo size. 4x6, 3x4. Melinda says, any advice for finding lost mojo? You gotta just start. So find a page you really like, whether it's yours or somebody else's, and lift it. Yeah, that entirely. Just start. The more that you sit there and think, I don't know what I want to do, the harder it will be. You have to get that. Come on. We back? No? Yes, okay. I don't know what's causing it. Lovelies, I'm sorry. Thank you for hanging in there with me. Okay, so the question that I was asking when we so rudely got interrupted was black photomat here, white photomat here. Come on. I don't know what to think. Let's see, how long can I scrap before it cuts me off again? Okay. I think these two, separate or together? This is the next question. Okay, I should go scrap in the fridge. Oh, you've never seen the size of a British fridge, have you? Or maybe you have. I don't know. Right. And I got this. Greenie. I was looking at that frame. Not sure. This is going to go down here. Okay. Georgia. Everything breaks when it's hot in this country because we're just not built for it. I described yesterday that I live in a mid-century build with lots of glass, designed that way on purpose for many reasons, but one of them to help with depression in long, dark winters. Not that they're as long and as dark as they get. You can go further north and it is clearly going to be longer and darker, but it is noticeable. When I moved from Kansas to England, it is definitely noticeable. Right. So, lots and lots of glass. Most of the time in England, this is a brilliant thing. Our houses are built with great insulation to keep us warm and vaguely efficient in the winter. And in this particular house, there's loads of glass so that even when the sky is miserable, there's quite a lot of lovely natural light. However, yesterday and today, I live in a mid-century greenhouse. Because you take all that glass without aircon or anything, and yes, very, very hot. Oh, I had it the other way. You're right. Thank you. Lisa says, maybe I'm British and I don't know it because I'm not built for that either. Well, this is something that I felt very at home about when I moved here. Yeah, because the first really sunny day, and this is when I lived in Brighton, the first really sunny day I was out in Brighton, I got really quite ill from, like, I was overheated and probably had heat stroke or something. I am going to keep them together, but I'm going to put them on black. Yeah, I got really ill. And everyone was laughing at me, and they're like, but you come from somewhere where it's super hot in the summer, so this shouldn't be, you know, messing with you. And I said, yeah, I come from somewhere hot in the summer, so we don't go outside. We stay indoors, and we ruin the environment with lots of air conditioning. But yes, we have a mix of windows open, and we have that whole top and bottom window thing that helps with the draft. I've got the studio windows open, which I don't normally do. That's only in extreme cases. And then some rooms where we can block out sunshine coming in the windows are all blocked out. Some are still open, so like the curtains are open. So yeah, we do the best we can, and we have an epic fan, but we just have one, and it obviously doesn't do the whole house. So yeah, as for electronics and all of that, no. But yeah, my system is very much attuned to the whole, no, it's just not gonna work. Okay, so I'm gonna put them on black. I'm going to have the border be a little bit smaller than what the white was, and I think that's gonna help. Of putting these down here in the bottom corner, which I know I started with going, oh, I just make them next to each other, yes. I said this composition is to the top, but now I'm going to stay to the bottom too. Oh, Amy says ceiling fans aren't really a thing over there. No, they're very rare. I think you see more of them down on the coast. Like, I've seen some in Devon and Cornwall, but I don't think they're even common then. Yeah, but yeah, we've got an ice cream truck parked in front of our building. As soon as the temperature went up, he just came and parked out front. Okay. Yep, my that's over here. And hold up. I can put some of this in there too. Stacy says, when is the best time of year to visit England? Well, have we just gone fuzzy? Best time to visit. Wow. Best time to visit, but I don't want you to tell everybody to come visit now, is obviously Pink Tree Week. So yeah, April. April is beautiful. It may be rainy, but the temperature is usually lovely. And autumn is nice too. October, not November. November is dark and rainy. All the time. It's like a paper splinter. Is that a thing? Come on. There. Amy points out, dark, rainy, and without turkey and pumpkin pie. It's true. Yeah. But October is nice. You can always go through my Instagram feed and look at how often we take photos outside. If I start trying to figure out how to take pictures of us, then the weather's horrible. Should I cover up these other people? Originally, when I printed this, I kind of cropped it this way thinking I could put embellishment here. But I'm also kind of thinking, that's his teacher, one of his teachers, so I don't know if I want to cover that up. Is that me? I could put it here, though, because this is like a partial child. That's... Okay, there. Okay, with pop dots. Pop it up, pop it up. How are we doing for time? Because we keep stalling today, so I have to keep an eye on the clock. Lots of people suggesting early October better than late October. Yeah. Halloween is usually cold and miserable. I always like to rate places for their end of October by whether you need to trick or treat with additional weather gear. And you need a coat here. You need a coat to trick or treat. I'll jinx myself. But so far, I can't remember a year when we needed wellies and raincoats. But November, oh my goodness, it rains a lot. Okay. Something down here. journaling on this. I need a journaling card. This was glossy too, wasn't it? Did I check? Yes! Orangina, that's... Oh! Oh! This one is not glossy. Get in. Yeah, Halloween where I grew up, one year you need your snow boots. And one year, one year, sorry, I was reading the comments. One year you'd need snow boots, and the next year it'd be super hot. So, yeah, that's Kansas weather for you, too, definitely. Okay, Catherine says, would you mind talking about the black and white quote because it seems like a very different motif versus the retro style? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going from color there and a link to the journaling. If I were working with my entire stash rather than a kit, would I be drawn to that? Probably not. But, no, you're not the only one who's blurry. I'll take going in and out of blur versus disconnecting every time. So, you're not the only one. I'm not sure what's on today, but we're just muddling through. And I'll brace myself for all the thumbs downs that come from people who don't enjoy that sort of thing. I'm sorry. I'm doing my best. Okay, moving on. See, scrapbook design stuff, I can explain why I make choices. So yeah, if I was not working for the kit, maybe I would go and find something that was a little bit, well, it's not that I would go and find, it's that when I was looking for stash, I would be more drawn to something in a similar style. However, I don't feel this is completely removed because the labels here are not actually like a real cola bottle. They're handwritten and they say Fizzy Pop. So then the label, oh yeah, can you see it on there? I don't know, but just trust me. So then having the handwriting here too is a link. And I've got this black and white in the background here, so that's a link too. And this is going to fit well with what I want to journal about, so the theming there works for me. Okay, I'm going to try these black die cutty bits. Allison. Bless all of you who come live and you're like, I would never thumbs down. Thank you. It's never you guys. You lovely people. Not that anybody who does give me a thumbs down is not lovely. It's fine. I understand that it is a way that you can express that you were not satisfied with something, and that is fine. But there's always more of them on certain things. Don't worry about it. Right, Sophia says she's going to watch with half an eye while she carries on putting up decorations. They had Lola's gluten-free cupcakes and Krispy Kreme donut deliveries, so stuff is getting done. That's like priorities, for sure. So maybe... Oh no, Melinda. So part of Melinda's mojo being gone may be that you need to sleep more, and that's acceptable. It's okay. Go get some sleep, Melinda, and maybe tomorrow your mojo will be back. If not, come back and scrap along. Okay. Try. I'm just punching out letters. Doot, doot, doot. Georgia. Georgia says, I probably would thumbs down, to be honest. Joke. Bless your heart. She likes to just make my heart stop for a second. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Here? Oh, it's too much black. I thought they'd work, but maybe they don't. Maybe I've got too much black. Okay. And I am going to use this to journal at some point, but not today, because it's not going to go with what I've got here. But I will, because now I'm excited. Because the enamel dots didn't have uncoated. Do you remember? I took the enamel dots out of the pack, and it's the same print, but it's on glossy cardstock, which is no good for my writing. But yeah, the 6x12 one from the puffy frames. That's all right. The phrases look like subway art. They do. And maybe that's just, maybe this is one step too many. Like, I like putting different things, putting different styles together. And that conversation about these two pieces, maybe this one is just a third step is too much. I'm okay with accepting that. Okay, so those are going to be for another day. I did want to put that sunshine on, though. Let's see about the sunshine. Is the sunshine one step too far? Or will the sunshine work? Because, have we got any yellow in there? No. Let's just hold it there and see. I don't need for this one to work. I kind of think maybe most of this sticker sheet's going to become one layout. Are we having a thumb war? Oh no. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to keep... if this were to really fit with the story you were telling, I don't actually think that it's all that bad a motif for here. But I'm going to save it. It's not... Well, I always say don't save it. I'm going to use it on another page. Because you know I will. It's fine. Okay. Which brings me back to this. And I'm going for this. Because this is a good link to this. And the colors are there. So, sorry Amy, but I'm going to cut stuff out. I'm going to cut stuff out. Oh yes. Oh, yeah. Amy says she has a pen that she bought for writing on slick stickers. I have pens for that too, but I don't enjoy writing with them. Have I mentioned I'm stubborn? Have we discussed this? Also, I have a new desk. Right, and Catherine says, off topic, but it's Disney, so it's not off topic. But we have exciting Walt Disney World news. We were just able to retrieve our pandemic-canceled annual pass. Doing a happy dance whilst jumping into planning mode. How lovely. Paris put annual passes back on sale today, and I think that we're everything to go lovely. Haha. I think I would be able to renew at the discount until November with when mine expired, but I don't know. That may be wait. We just wait and see. Everything is wait and see. But right now you have to, so from today, there were lots more countries you could go to without a quarantine when you come home. But yesterday, was it yesterday or Saturday or Friday? Anyway, this weekend, they took France off that list and said, nope, if you're going to France, you have to quarantine. And loads of Disney friends I know were like, oh, in that case. And they canceled trips. Oh, it's sad times. Yeah. But they did put annual passes back on sale today. I saw that from friends this morning. Georgia, I would never have had you down as a stubborn person. Me? And you'll notice I don't have a guest star today because they did manage to get school open again. Yes. Someone was very sad about missing school, so it is cool that we're open today. Hopefully they can make it through this last week. Friday's last day of school. Oh, Netherlands went back on the red list. Goodness. Well, that means no Efteling. Isn't that... That's Netherlands, isn't it? We kept wondering about going, would Efteling be better than Disneyland Paris? I know the answer is go to some British theme parks. I was very tempted last week when they said, oh, you can't go to school this week. I was like, right, so we should go to Legoland. But apparently that's not what school closure means. They actually gave us more work for home learning last week than any of the other closures. We had mega work. So no Legoland. We thought we'd be able to do a museum day. We thought all sorts. No, we were wrong. But it's okay. Right. Amy says Legoland is greater than schoolwork. Oh, Joanna says lockdown number 5 in Melbourne. Who knows what to think anymore? Oh, now see, that's the part that I find really upsetting, Orangina. Orangina says somebody told her off for wearing a mask. Like, if you don't want to wear a mask, that's your decision. I don't understand how me wearing a mask bothers you. I have a real problem grasping that train of thought, because we had somebody shout at us because WB was in a mask on the train, and under 11s don't have to wear masks here. But he normally does on the train and in stations. And one day we had somebody shout at us and say horrible things about what was going to happen because I made my kid wear a mask. And I was just like, what is, I don't understand. Like, if you don't, I don't get it. Like, make a decision for you, fine. What does me wearing one or my child wearing one why does that bother you? I don't get it. And also, yes, you're quite right. If somebody had actually had a concern and had a nice, polite conversation with me, saying, actually, here are my reasons, that's different than shouting at a child and their parent in a public space. Yeah? Okay. I think we can all agree on that, no matter what our opinions are. That, if it's not your thing, maybe talk to us politely rather than shouting at us and making us jump out of our skin. See, that's the bit I don't get. Okay, have a drink. Corey says, are kids approved for the vaccine in the UK? No. Yeah. It's 18 and over here right now. It's weird because there are some countries you can travel abroad to right now, but some of them require vaccines for like 14 or 15-year-olds, and you can't get that here. It's not even, you could get it not on the NHS. You flat out can't get it here. They're not allowed to dispense it to under 18. So, yeah. There you go. So yeah, they keep saying they're going to announce, like, we keep having kind of warnings about, like, there will be a report from the review about vaccinating younger individuals, and then the review always ends up being, we're going to review it some more. So far, no change. But maybe there'll be change soon. I don't know. I think it will take a while before we have anywhere near his age group, obviously. But secondary school reopening would be different. Yeah. There we go. I don't know. Have I gotten way too political today? The heat's making all of us have opinions. But Amy hasn't sworn at me for doing this fuzzy cutting. Did I just say fuzzy cutting? It is getting to my head. Detail cutting. I hate that phrase. When I said it, like gave me a reaction in my brain going, ugh, what does that mean? I don't like that phrase at all. Anyway, detail cutting. Oh, Amy says she would never swear at me, but she's ignoring me instead. I love it, Amy. Don't worry, I didn't think you would swear at me, but, jokingly. That's all. me attend one of Chamel's lives and not watch her. But that'll be the live, Amy, where I don't tear anything and I don't cut anything out. Is there anything else I do that worries you? Could make sure I don't do any of those things. And then you'll be like, what did I miss? Why did I pick this time? Aw, Amy's trying to clean her desk. It doesn't have a name, but she needs a name. Yeah, your desk needs a name. Georgia, I totally understand that. I was melting on the train yesterday. It was too hot. And my mask was just soggy and stuck to me. And have I told you when the dance studio first reopened and we all had the same mistake? Because you wear a mask in the hallways of the dance studio, but you're allowed to have it off in class dancing, which I know is different than some American dance studios. Even for dance competitions this year, there were lots of teams who competed in masks. But we did not have that here. Our rule on exercise was that exercise activities, once you were in your exercising space and should be distanced, then you could take your mask off. Okay. Right. But you'd need to put it back on to get out of the building. And the first time that it was open and we all went back, we all had the same problem because none of us had thought this through. That we finished class and put our masks on to run down the stairs and get out of the studio. We just finished class. We were all so sweaty that by the time we got down the 2 flights of stairs and to the front door, our masks were completely gross. We're like, oh, so apparently you have to have a spare. And one of them is just for the gross bit where you have to put a mask on your super sweaty post-workout face and run down a few flights of stairs. Yeah. So if anybody does one of those what's in my dance bag videos, it should have extra masks. Here? Yes. Oh, that's like the same. I knew it was the same floral, but I'm putting it in the same way. I might not want to do that. I might make it this. Can I tuck in? Yeah. Tuck in that bit there. Okay. Sorry, Amy. So I'm going to tuck that in there. And this there. Did I stick this? No. Put part of it underneath so that I can get that angle there. I did. I didn't even do it perfectly because I've got a bit I have to cover up now, but I'm not bothered about that. Okay, I'm actually going to cover up the daffodil entirely. Pick that up too. It's going right underneath to the back. Oh, not entirely. It's going to have like two little petals. Oh, goodness. Oh, wow. I'm wowing about what Corey's teenager just did. Corey's teenager just finished training in Vegas with Cirque du Soleil. That's amazing. The only time masks were mandated in the entire city was in the gym during the classes. It was 119 degrees and she had to train for 8 hours. Oh my goodness. Okay, she's next level on every level. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was just checking my pronouns to make sure I had read that right. Yes, she. Okay. What else are we going to do? So then the journaling box down here and enamel dots to cover up that bit that gave Amy a heart attack. Turquoise, pink, I think this color. big one here. Then medium one here, because they've got a harsh edge here that I kind of want to cover up. Small one there. 1, 2, 3. Big, medium. Oh, I have 4 sizes here. Did you ever read the monster at the end of this book with Grover from Sesame Street to your kids? Because I think you have to quote it today. Shamel, I'm going to message you about the August kit and see which papers strike you as cutting out papers. I'll see if I can make my cameo cut them out ahead of time. Okay, well, I was going to film in the next day or two. I was going to film a walk through the kit. So I'll try to include that in my notes. Which ones I think I'll be cutting out. Bring these in closer. Maybe. Okay. Yes, big time lover of the monster at the end of this book. Georgia, not a big proponent of somebody who's not on board with pronouns, but could it have been a case that it's naivety more than meanness in that for that individual? I don't know. You know me. I love to give people the benefit of the doubt, but also let's not be mean. So if there's a way to educate the person who said that, that would be great. Everyone ends up better. We know better and we do better. Hello, Miriam. What are we so excited about? You just like the layout? Or is there something else? Miriam's like, OMG, what a great day to come home from work to alive. I don't know. Is it a great day? We've had all the technical issues today, so I don't know. Okay. So I've got a little grouping up here, grouping here, grouping here. Does that mean this needs a tiny flower? Maybe. I'm going to take this corner piece. And just have it, I'll figure it out. Just cut it, figure it out. I love it, Orangina. Let's all just channel Miriam and pretend everything is awesome. Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you know how to scrapbook. Yeah, it's totally it. Totally it. My husband just rolled his eyes so big that I'm pretty sure I could hear it. But it's okay. He has to put up with me all the time. Ha ha ha. I agree, Gemma. Oh my goodness, to have to be in heat in this heat and PPE, like full PPE, would be insane. Just a mask is crazy. Crazy hot? I didn't mean that it was crazy. Let's just clarify. I did not mean it was crazy, but I meant it's very hot. Oh, Amy says everything is awesome except for fussy cutting. Except for cutting out and tearing and tags. And was it stamping? I'm making a note now. What was it? Sewing. It wasn't stamping. It was sewing. Oh, goodness, Georgia. Yeah. Her friends could kind of help her, too. I don't know that if I were in their situation I would want my friend kind of thinking of me like that. I don't know. Oh, you know what I should do is just cut around that edge there. Gonna make it work. Okay. Do hospitals have air conditioning in England? Usually no. Don't worry. I'll figure out where it's going to go. Here, I think. And then I'll just move the dots. Anyway, OMG, did you really just scroll back through the comments to see what else I disliked? Yes, because I couldn't remember if it was stamping or something else that started with S. And it turns out it was something else that started with S. Yeah, Georgia says, some hospitals have air conditioning here, but it tends to be rubbish. Oh, I'm leaving that one there. And I would agree. Most of our hospitals, not all, but most of our hospitals are in like Victorian buildings, and they're not made for aircon. But there are some that are new build and have them, but tend to be. I don't know. Gemma and anybody else, correct me if I'm wrong, but the new build ones tend to be private hospitals. Schools don't have AC. That would be very rare. You'd have to be in a brand new build school. Yeah. Oh. I want this one here. Okay. Oh, good question. Stacy says, what is a private hospital? So, if you're from America, our medical system is very different because we have a national health service. So, if you need to go to the doctor, it does not cost you anything, but it's not free either. We all pay for it. It's in our taxes, to simplify. So you're never paying per treatment or anything like that. Everybody's paying this amount, and it has nothing to do with pre-existing conditions, your health, none of that. What risks you have in your life? No, there's none of that. We all just pay this amount. And then whenever you need to go to the doctor, you go. There is no bill. But that's on the national health. Now, because everybody can go, that does mean that there can be a wait for certain things. And there's always going to be triage and prioritizing what needs to happen first. So, for example, if you really wanted to see a doctor today for an issue that wasn't an emergency, you might not be able to get a spot at your GP because they're dealing with all the people who really do need to be seen today, and you just kind of want to be seen today. Does that make sense? So if you had the money to do it, you could go get an appointment quicker by paying for it in a private hospital or a private doctor's office. Yeah, so we have both systems side by side, and you can buy insurance for private care as well. But yeah, I'm a big, huge fan of the NHS. They have saved my life several times. They have made it possible for me to have a child. Yeah. Georgia says, yeah, it's a percentage of your salary and it goes as a contribution to national insurance. Yeah, which is collected at the same time as your taxes. Yeah. But private hospital is more about a profit. So they would be more likely to be able to put up the money for a new build, that sort of thing. Cool. Okay, what else is going to happen here? It needs journaling. So that needs to come over here, I believe. I'm having a look at just plain journaling cards, I think. I've got, okay. Let's see, I have 3x4s. What was that? Aw. I do this weird thing where I tuck little bits of ephemera into random spaces, and then I forget they're there, and then I find them and I get all excited again. I just found a Disneyland receipt in my journaling cards. Okay, so yes, Georgia also says a lot of consulting has now gone online, especially during COVID, and that is very, very true. And with our GP, I have found them way more efficient that way, because there are lots of things. Amy's laughing at me saying playing. Well, I'm going to dress them up, but they start playing. Yeah, so with our GP, like, for example, WB, I had to get a letter for school to say that he still has an allergy, and it had to be from a doctor. And in the old system, pre-COVID, I would have had to make a non-emergency appointment, because obviously I don't need to be seen today. I need an appointment, but it's not an emergency. So I would have to call up and get through on a phone line, which is hard, because the emergency cases that need to go in today, they're calling too, yeah? So you have to kind of, you used to have to call in and get an appointment, and then there'd be a couple weeks of waiting, and then I'd have to go in and wait for an appointment to then explain to the doctor, actually, there's nothing wrong, I just need a letter, because the letter I have on file at school to say that my child has an allergy is out of date, and they requested a new one because they want a new one every 4 years, right? Whereas in the new system, I didn't need to take up anywhere near that much of their time and energy. I filled out a form on the GP's website to say what I needed, and I filled it out in the evening, and the next morning, before they started seeing patients, a doctor called me, made sure that she was going to put in the letter the right information, asked me a couple questions just to confirm what we were doing with his food. It was like a 3-minute phone call, and the letter was printed out for me to pick up at midday. And I didn't ever have to take a spot from somebody who was ill. So I'm totally on board with how COVID has changed that, because you can make an appointment for all of those things, letters and all of that, without having to take the time that the doctor would need to see a patient who's actually sick or hurt. There we go. Oh, Gemma says we would never have made you take an appointment just for a letter. Oh, every GP I've ever gone to, you had to make an appointment for letters. Yeah. Okay, so here's my option. I could do 3x4. I don't really love how these line up. I kind of feel like it needs to come out further, which is why I grabbed the 4x6. Now, it doesn't need to be that big, but I could cut it down. I'll do it with scissors just so that I don't upset Amy. And then I'm going to need to go because it's almost end of school. So let's gray this out. Oh, Amy says, a card like this, okay, I'm sure it was the other side. It has lines on both sides. She would call this unplaying because it has lines on it, I'm guessing. Yes, Corey, see, it makes sense for both sides. It must be easier for them too. Because Corey says on the doctor's side that she would happily just dash off the allergy note to save both of us the time and the effort of going to an appointment. Yes. Yeah. Right. So what am I going to do to dress it up? I'm going to put the journaling in there. And then maybe a little... Do I need another bit of title? I don't know. So I think I'll write the journaling in first. And then I've got 3 and a bit bits of floral. Okay. I won't do it on camera because Amy's going to have an actual medical condition if I do it on camera. But you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out a couple cola bottles. They don't happen to be in that print, do they? No. Okay. So I may have to steal it from what's behind here because I've got that bit. Orangina's like, you've got 4 embellishment points again. I feel like this one is connected to that one. I'm not going to give it dots or anything. It just continues behind the flower. So, journaling, cola bottles. Sorry. Amy, you don't have to use cola bottles. You could just do some stickers. Oh, she says they're tiny. Yeah, they are tiny. It'll be all right. And then I'll decide based on how much room the journaling takes up, whether it needs a title separate to this little box. And if I did, I'm not going to use the lettering from the kit. I would use a black script letter sticker to go down here and put the title in here. You know what's really weird is I didn't mean for this to be the same sort of composition, but if you go back and look at the page I did where the two of us were dressed like the genie from Aladdin, I think it's very similar. It doesn't look at all alike because the stash is completely different, but I'm pretty sure I accidentally ended up doing the same composition, which is interesting because when I started today, everything was going to fall from the top. But then I found this bit of paper, and that, to me, just had to go at the bottom. Okay, that's it. I gotta go do school pickup. Thank you so much for bearing with me while the internet decided, for whatever reason, to continually stop the video. I'm so sorry about it. It's out of my control, and I am very glad that I have people like you who stick with me all the way through it. I appreciate it. I've never looked at how that works on the replay, so if you watch on the replay, I don't know if you end up getting big gaps or if it just puts it all together. So I'll have to have a look. Anyway, if you enjoyed the layout, please give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. If you watch from the future, leave us a comment to let you know, let us know, let me know. It's just me. Let me know that you were here. I would love to say hi to you, or I'd love to see that you were here. And if you're new and you enjoyed it, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That would be fabulous. And I'll be back Friday morning at 9:30 in the morning UK time, and which you can also watch on the replay if that is the time that you should be asleep, which North America, I'm looking at you. You should probably be asleep at 9:30 in the morning UK time on Friday. But I'll be live. And sometime in between, I'll try and get the August kit walkthrough filmed. Fabulous. Thank you so much. Have a great week. Let's all be awesome, because everything is awesome. Right.